AirPods. All right, so you saw the title of this probably and saying I love my AirPods. I've had these for about a month now, and they've just been really perfect. They're just everything that I really wanted out of my my wireless headphones here, my earbud things, mainly for my walks home from work, maybe sometimes at my break or something, long car rides, that kind of stuff. And these have just been fantastic for that. But to get a little backstory, kind of to explain why that is, part of the reason really is because I was using these. These are the Soundpeats Engine 4s, and they're were pretty good. They're I don't know, they were kind of the cheaper ones, right? They're around the I think they were $50 to $80 somewhere in there. They weren't real expensive ones, but they have they're the most comfortable earbuds that I've used up until that point because I mostly use cheap crap. And here's the thing. You look at this. Yeah, they have the tips on them. Yeah, that silicone tip. That was the problem. Basically, these have the issue where a little dirty too. Great. They're they're just not comfortable. They don't fit right. And I've tried everything to make them fit well and be comfortable and everything, but they just annoy me because no matter which size tips I use, no matter which way I twist them, turn them, how much I jam them into my ears, how much I angle them, they always go into each ear differently. It feels like the one in the right ear is always going to fall out, and also it has inconsistent sound because they slowly work their way out of my head. So it's annoying. It's pushing earwax into my ears, blocking them up and everything, and then just the sound is inconsistent as they work their way out, the bass just kind of goes away and they sound worse, and I either keep adjusting them, or if I don't, they just fall out of my head. And so I got kind of sick of it, and I was like, well, I don't know, I'm not really that happy with these anymore, so I don't know, do I need these? Yeah, get rid of these. Then one day, out of curiosity, I was just testing all the different headphones that I had that could connect to my phone that I'm recording this with right now, and just to see what all these different things would sound like next to each other. And I had a discovery with these. These are AirPods that I got with my iPhone 8. These, what surprised me is that they were really, really comfortable. They just fit really nicely. There's no, tips on them, silicone stuff or whatever on there. They're just, they're just plastic things, but they fit really well. And I mean, the sound was all right too. I mean, it was lacking bass for sure, but everything was very clear. The mic sounds nicer and everything because it's a wired thing. The main issue is that it was wired, so I'm constantly untangling the stuff when it's in my pocket. Whatever, the fucking the wires make it feel like they're just gonna fall out of my ears because if it tugs on the wire, they'll fall out. But that made me think, well, what about AirPods? What if I got those? They'd be basically wireless versions of these. They'd be really comfortable, and I'd be okay with that, worse sound if it meant I could get this, to be just that comfortable. That would be really, really nice. So then I got AirPods for my birthday. I asked for them, and I surprisingly got them. And what's great about these is that the sound is also really, really good. The ergonomics and everything are pretty similar to that, and they look pretty much the same like that, but they're wireless. They're a little bit heavier too. I think maybe slightly, bigger than these, I guess. They're a little different. They're not like I said, not 1-to-1. They've redesigned this a little bit because these are the earpods or AirPods 4. So these are the latest ones. At least at the time of me recording this. And the sound really impressed me too, because not only are these really comfortable, there's no cords or anything to deal with, they pair up right away, I can listen to stuff. The sound on these is not quite as crisp on the high-end stuff. It doesn't sound quite as clear for the very highest stuff, but very close. There's a lot of bass in these. There's no seal on this or anything either, but they're the same size as those, but somehow they get bass in here. It sounds really good. I mean, they're not audiophile or anything. I'm sure if you have really nice headphones, they can go over your ears and do all this other stuff. They sound probably way better than these. Excuse me. I'm sure AirPods Pro sound better than these too. But the thing is, these, the bass is there. They sound good. I don't know how they got that much bass out of them, and everything else sounds really good. Just incredible sound for the other conveniences of these. They also have a really smart design here where you have to actually pinch the things down here, the stems, to do different touch control things. You don't just touch them. With these, if you would graze any of these top areas here, they'll start doing stuff. But not with these. These, you have to actually pinch those with pressure so you don't accidentally hit stuff and you're just putting them in and adjusting them and everything. and that makes them a lot easier to just like, actually use. I don't even have to really adjust these after I have them in most of the time anyways. They also have like this adaptive EQ where they know that these are going to move around slightly when they're in your ears, right? When you're walking around and whatever. So they actually have this adaptive EQ going on that kind of constantly like tries to calculate stuff and tell like if its position is moved, and it tries to just recalibrate the sound so that you get a consistent audio experience. And I've had very, very consistent audio out of these. They sound very good, and they've been consistent about that audio. And also, like, look at the case here, right? Look at these two cases, and it's like, yeah, the case looks like it's smaller, right? It's also thinner as well. And it's also like it's round, and it's like, yeah, this thing is excellent. It just disappears in my pocket so easily. It's such a good design. I see why a bunch of people are making, clones and knockoffs and everything, because this is just a really good design for headphones. And what's also cool is that, these, to be fair, are the more expensive ones. These are like the $180 ones, because these do have active noise canceling, and I don't even use them. That's kind of one of my favorite things about this, sadly. It's funny enough to say, but I'm like, I wanted simple stuff out of these, and what's great is that I can still use them simply without all these features. I turned off active noise canceling so I can still hear stuff around me, like cars and things, whatever, when I'm walking home, so I don't like walk into traffic or something because I'm an idiot. And that's nice. I like that. As well as like the whole touch controls thing too. Never use them. I just use my phone itself. I tap stuff on the screen. I change stuff that way. So I never really need to use those, but I'm never accidentally using those. I'm never forced into using things that I don't want. And that's really nice. You can use these as simply as you want. You don't have to really do much with the app or anything. Once you have them set up, you don't ever have to open that up again and just pop them in, use them, put them away, charge them, whatever. They're very, very easy to use, and they don't require you to use all the fancy stuff or work around other stuff with them. They're very, very simple, very, very good for that as well. And like I said, really good sound. Battery life is pretty good too. I mean, I guess I haven't like checked the hours or anything, but so far I think I've only had to actually recharge them once since having them. It's like for like over like a month or something. I think I charged them when I first got them, and then I charged them like once since then. So battery life seems to be pretty decent. They sound so good. I'm so excited. I've been listening to them when I'm like at home. And I did that a few times too. I usually don't do that because I have other headphones that are nicer, but I was just like so excited about them. They sound so good, and they're easy to pop in if I want to like lay down in bed or something. They're just like really comfortable to have there. Just kind of listen to stuff that way. They're really, really good. I will say for the noise canceling stuff too, I guess again I can't really speak for it if they like but having the bass in these, when I was in a car. A car ride. They didn't. The bass kind of went away because the car was the road noise and things were rumbly. So there is something to be said about having a seal and that like silicone stuff in there. So I'm sure AirPod Pros would probably sound better than these, especially with those tips if you like those. But yeah, the lack of features or the thing that not being required to use those features has been something that's been really great about. It's been also kind of a feature about this is that I can use these in a more simple way, and they're still fantastic. I got all the other benefits that I want out of them. And if anything happened to these, I would probably just replace them with the AirPods 4, the regular ones without noise canceling, because they're $130. That's all it is. I mean, like, that is still pretty expensive. I mean, like, downsides to these, yes, they're expensive, and they're really only going to get the benefits if you use an Apple product, like an iPhone or a Mac or an iPad or something, right? Because if you're using these on something else, they're not going to be able to communicate with the Apple chips and all the codecs and all the other things and whatever. You won't get all the features and the touch things and the adaptive EQ and everything, so you'll just have probably worse sound because you're not getting access to all those features. And at that point, you might as well just be getting, a clone or a knockoff or whatever, or something entirely different for a lot less money. And again, $130 even for these, that's still kind of a lot. But here's the trick. You just get yourself some of these, you get yourself some of these earpods, right? Buy yourself one of these. This one has a lightning end, but you can get them with either just a regular 3.5 millimeter audio jack, or you can get them with a USB-C end. You can plug them in and try them out and just test them for $20. Get them right from Apple, $20. They'll even give you a neat little case you can put these in and wrap them around and stuff, so they're easier to put in your pocket and they won't be a knot every time you want to use them like mine always are. And use it as a test. $20 is not too bad to see if you like the fit, because if you like the way these feel, you'll probably like the way the AirPods feel, because they're so similar. You might just like these better anyway, but they're so close. I think it's a really, really good way to test it before you just dive all the way in. And if you don't like it, you're only out $20. If you do like it, well, then you got a nice pair of backup wired ones in case something does happen to these. And like I said, yeah, if anything does happen to these, at this point, I wasn't really looking to get them for myself, because over $100 for something like this, that's like a limited thing that I'm only using so much or whatever, I was like, I don't know if I want to. But absolutely, if I like lost these or they broke or something, or when I'm getting these out or sometimes putting them back in, they're smooth and they're slippery, and it's easy where I could see myself just dropping them. So if I did have something like that happen, I totally would just get another pair of the regular AirPods 4 without any noise canceling or any of that other stuff, and I would just have those. I would definitely replace those with these. I don't think I can go back to these. So I just wanted to have that little video about this thing, gushing about how much I love these, just because, I didn't expect to love them as much as I do, and then, I got them. I didn't really even expect to get them, and I got them, and I'm using them, and they've just been so perfect, and, that's one of the best things about, having really good tech like this, is that oftentimes you don't even think about how good it is, and appreciate it, because it's just so easy and so natural. But I got these, I've been using them, and they've been everything I've wanted them to be. They've just been the perfect solution to my problems, and I really wanted to share with you guys. So hopefully that was somewhat interesting for you to see as my hands on a table. Sorry, there's a little, not the best setup or anything, and the coughing thing earlier, whatever. But hopefully it's interesting to somebody. And if you're interested in getting these things, again, they're not going to be the best value for your buck for everybody. There's definitely a lot of things you can go into to find other things that are going to be a better sound or better features or everything else, but, better price. But I think that you really can't go wrong with these if you just want a quick, simple thing to be like, I have an iPhone, I listen to music on it all the time, and I want stuff that's going to sound good without the tips on them. You just get yourself some AirPods 4, and there you go, you're going to be set. That's my video. That was just me gushing about this, and, hopefully it was interesting, because if not, sorry, I'll leave.